Sid and TP were coaches. Talk to us about how they were as lacrosse coaches.
Yeah, they were hilarious. It was so fun having them on the sidelines and in our locker rooms. Sid was like arguing with the ref, which was making me laugh. It was so funny. I don't even know if she knew what the call was or what was going on, but great vibes. Great vibes.
All right, Marie McCool, welcome to Sports and Ish, where we find out about your life on the lacrosse field and off the lacrosse field. First of all, big award that just came your way, MVP of the WLL All-Star Game. And it's because you scored that game-winning goal in the final 45 seconds. Can you please take us back to those final moments and what it was like for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think there were a lot of people on our team that definitely deserved MVP. I was telling people, like, I just happened to score the last goal, but there were a lot of incredible plays out there. But honestly, like, I just was like, okay, there's only a minute left, and I think we were all dodging at that point trying to score a goal, and I saw an opportunity, and my defender did a good job stopping me. And I turned and like looked at the cage for a second and saw that there was like a little opening, and I had the stick in my right hand, which I probably should have put in my left hand, but my husband after the game was like, you really are allergic to your left hand. I'm like, I know, but whatever, it's fine. So I just like shovel shot it in the cage, and it was so exciting and such an incredible feeling, and props to our defense and the rest of our team, because 45 seconds is a very long time and anything could happen. So they actually almost scored again to tie it. So our whole team did a great job holding them off.
Well, whatever you did, it worked well. It is a big time in lacrosse, obviously. So much growth. You have the World Championships coming up in Tokyo, Japan, which is amazing and insane. Right now we have the World Cup going on. I'm sure you are tuned in, as who isn't. What are you looking forward to after watching such a national tournament like the World Cup? What do you think this Lacrosse World Championship is going to be similar as the World Cup, and what can fans expect?
Yeah, it is interesting. Like, I remember a few weeks ago when USA played their first game, just the national anthem and the fans, I just got goosebumps because, obviously lacrosse isn't at that level yet or at that stage, but I think we're heading in a direction where one day, hopefully we are there and that same environment can be replicated. And obviously with the Olympics coming up in 2028, like, all I could think about was that first Olympic game and what the energy and environment is going to be like in LA. And so it's been really great to watch the FIFA World Cup and hope and dream one day that lacrosse will be at that stage. And so I think, this summer is really important. Obviously, this is the first World Championship since knowing that lacrosse is going to be in the Olympics. And so just to continue to grow the game and provide that visibility and put on a great product for the world to see is going to be really important. And it's something that I'm really excited to be a part of. Obviously, it's in Tokyo, and the game has grown so much over in Japan. So I'm excited to be immersed in that culture and be a part of that. So I think it's a really big opportunity for us and for the sport of lacrosse to continue to showcase the incredible talent and abilities heading into the Olympics in a couple of years.
Totally. So, for people who don't know, what other countries are excelling at lacrosse? Like, who else should we expect to be pretty good at the World Championships?
Yeah, so Canada is definitely, I would say, our rival. It's who we typically see in the championship game. And especially like the men in Canada have gone back and forth in recent World Cups. Last World Cup, the US won. The World Cup before that, the men Canadian team won. And so I would say Canada, England is always, a great team, Australia, and Japan. Japan has
Mm.
been getting better and better every year. We played them in the 2022 World Cup in the playoffs round, and I just remember our coach at the time, Jenny Levy, who's also my boss now at Carolina, was like, watch out. The way they play the game, they play it the right way. They move the ball quickly. They don't make many mistakes. I've had the opportunity to watch them and see them grow over the past few years, and they're continuing to get very good.
That's Incredible. Okay, so a lot of dark horses coming up. It will be fun to watch. You mentioned UNC. You are an assistant coach at UNC for lacrosse and also a player yourself, obviously, for the California Palms and the WLL. So, how does it influence you as a player to also be a coach part time? That's such an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, yeah. So I would say I'm very grateful and lucky to be a coach at Carolina. Like every single day I go out in the field, the players just inspire me to continue to want to do what I love. Just the way that their work ethic and the way that they show up to practice every single day, ready to attack whatever's thrown their way, is something that is extremely inspiring to me, and it just makes me want to continue to play and train to be the best that I can be for them, and also for, just, the United States, and continue to inspire that next generation of lacrosse players. So I'm very lucky. It definitely is difficult to balance at times, but I love it.
Yeah.
I haven't slept in my bed. I slept in my bed once the past 5 weeks at home. I've been on the road playing and traveling and recruiting for my Carolina job, but I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to coach and continue to play.
That's incredible. Wow, busy, busy girl, but honestly sounds very fulfilling and fun. Some members of the Together family were there at All Star. Sid and TP were coaches. Talk to us about how they were as lacrosse coaches.
Yeah, they were hilarious. It was so fun having them on the sidelines and in our locker rooms. Sid was our coach, and she was making me laugh the entire game, but Sid knew everybody's name on our team before the game started. And there was like 18 of us, and I'm like, "Sid, that is so impressive." Like, she made an effort to get to know every single one of us, and she actually walked in the locker room, and I think I was like doing my hair maybe when she came in, and she looked at me, she's like, "Wait, I haven't met you yet. What's your name?" And so, like, she was making an effort to get to know all of us, where we're from, what our background is, which was incredible. And then when we were on the field, every single time there was like a call or a play, she would ask our coach, like, "What does that mean? What is that?" And just like was really trying to understand the lacrosse lingo and the rules. And I thought that was really special. And I think the biggest thing that, I walk away from the weekend having them there is that I think we gained 2 new fans, and that's what it's all about, right? Being able to grow the game and have people who don't know the game of lacrosse fall in love with it. It was a really great experience having them there, and they were so funny, and it was great to meet them.
They are such a hoot. I love them.
I
And
know.
I feel like anywhere they go, they just bring good vibes, good
Yeah,
energy.
great vibes, great energy. Sid was like arguing with the ref, which was making me laugh. It was so funny. I don't know if she knew what the call was or what was going on, but great vibes, great vibes.
I love it. Well, you talked so much about the growth of the game, and I would love to know in your dream world where you would like to see women's lacrosse in the next 5 years.
Yeah, I think, obviously packing the stands, I always think about women's soccer and, the growth that women's soccer's had, but also like what they had to do to get to where they are today.
Mm.
And, we're obviously behind, but kind of seeing how far they've come is something that, I hope that lacrosse can follow and continue to do. But like the 99ers and, that experience filling the Coliseum. Like that's what I envision one day with lacrosse. And I do think I'm very confident that we can get there, and we've come a long way, but we also have a long way to go. And so just continuing to have the platform to be able to share our game and the opportunity to play and the visibility, that's what's really important. I think lacrosse has obviously been very big on the East Coast for a long time, but seeing it grow in different areas like Texas and California and Georgia, Atlanta, it's huge, it's growing. So seeing it grow in a lot of the non-traditional areas is very exciting and very important. So with that being said, I know there's a lot of us that put on clinics and camps, and we all have full-time jobs. Like, we can't be full-time lacrosse players right now. So with the WLL, a lot of us all have full-time jobs. Like, I'm a coach. There's people that work in New York City. There's people that do lacrosse full time, but they're running their camps all across the country. And so Just I know that a lot of us are committed to do whatever it takes to help inspire that next generation so we can get to where it needs to be. And again, we've come a long way, but there's still a long way to go, and I am confident that we can get there.
Yeah, absolutely. You can and you will. More to
Yeah.
come for lacrosse, I'm sure. Let's pivot a little bit
Yeah.
into the off-field conversation. Did I hear something about you and Catan, like Settlers of Catan?
Oh yeah, I love Catan. It's one of my favorite games. I actually started playing it in 2022 at our World Cup. We had a lot of night games. So the World Cup was actually in the United States. It was in Maryland, and so our games were at nighttime. So we had a lot of downtime during the day. And one of our teammates brought it, and I had never even heard of the game. And they taught me how to play. So we would just play every day in our dorm rooms. Which was really fun, and it was very tame and chill. And then we brought it to UNC, and our Carolina staff started to play, and it started to get very intense. Like people trading and being like, "No, why are you trading with her? Like she's about to win." Just like a lot of when you put former Division 1 athletes in a room playing a board game where it's like one winner takes all, it definitely gets intense. And then we continued the tradition with the US team, and I would bring it to every training camp. And so, me, Charlotte North, Kenzie Kent, Sam Apuzzo, um, Sydney Scales, Shea Baker, that's like the core group. It's funny because they're all Boston College players too, and then it's me. So it's all the BC Eagles and then me. But that was the core group. We started to play, and Charlotte and I go at it. We get competitive, so it's really fun. And obviously it's good to have downtime and to be able to do something with your teammates, but I think what's great about it is that's something that connects all of us, and we can continue to like we have a group chat, Settlers of Catan, that we talk in. And yeah, like it's just like are you bringing Catan? Like, and Charlotte has a scoreboard that she started, so I'm definitely gonna have to bring it to Japan so we can get some games in.
Let's talk about pop culture. Do you have any current pop culture fixations, if it's like a reality TV show or music?
So I would say that everyone makes fun of me that I don't watch Love Island because everybody's watching it right now, and they're like,
Right.
I feel like you are like the one person that would watch it." But because like the timing of it is, I told you earlier, I've slept in my bed once the past 5 weeks, and
Yeah.
it's on like every night. I just haven't been able to watch it. So that's like a fun fact that I do not watch Love Island, and people make fun of me for it because with if you know me and you know my personality, that's like one show that I would love. But I would say honestly, like, my biggest fixation is just, like, country music in the summertime right now. I am from Philly, Jersey area, and so, like, I grew up going to the Jersey Shore and doing all these things, and so, like, my favorite thing when summer hits is, like, I change my playlist immediately to just country the entire summer. There's something about, like, driving around, windows down, country music. I've been on a Noah Kahan kick right now. He's touring, and he was just in Philly, and I couldn't go, and I was really sad about. So I'm trying to figure out how I can go to a Noah Kahan um, concert. I think he played last night too. So that's kind of been like my fix right now. But obviously, my life is full lacrosse mode, so it's hard to get into some things. I've also been reading a lot of books, not necessarily pop culture, but recently, since I have been traveling a lot, I've been reading some books lately. So I like mystery romance is my it has been my genre. I found my genre. It's like mystery and romance. So I just finished my book yesterday. So if anyone has any recommendations in that genre, I'm gonna need them.
Give us a book rec. What is something you read recently that you love?
The book that I just read is called Leather and Lark. The first one was called Butcher and Blackbird. So it's a series and it's really good.
Okay, noted. Also,
Yeah.
Noah Kahan, just obsessed. I am. I think the whole world is. What is your favorite song off the new album?
Um, I don't know. I like all of them. Like I can't think of like a favorite one. I like all of them. I've like listened to the whole album on because I've been driving a lot and I've
Okay.
been listening just like put the whole album on and I just go through all of it. I don't have one. They're all so
No
good.
skip. No skips for Noah.
Yeah, no skip. I literally just put the album on because it obviously came out a couple of weeks ago and I was driving from North See, I've been all over the place. I was driving from North Carolina up to Maryland when it came out, and I was like, "This is perfect."
Yep.
And listen to the whole album.
He's so good. We love him.
But my
Okay.
favorite song of Noah Kahan is,
Yeah. All time.
I would say, I do really love Northern Attitude.
So good.
I think that's my favorite one.
That's with Hosier's Yell, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like that hits unlike anything else. When
I know, it
Hosier's
just makes me
was,
happy. Like,
it just makes me want to run through a brick wall, to be honest.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, last question. We saw that you are a foodie. Is that right?
Very big foodie.
Love. Okay, tell us about a recent meal that's living rent free in your mind.
So I just went down to the Jersey Shore for a little vacation, and I have been thinking about going to the Jersey Shore for a while now because I just love all of the food there. And so I would say that there's this one place called Kessel's Corner that my friends and I always go to, and I mean, like, I am obsessed with it. I'm not sure if it's like it's very good, but I might talk it up sometimes. Like, my husband came with us. I'm like, "Kevin, I can't wait for you to try the chicken cheesesteak wrap from Kessel's Corner." Like, I kept talking it up. I will say, like, it lived up to the hype and expectation when he had it. He was like, "Yeah, this is really good." So I get the chicken cheesesteak wrap with fried onions on it for lunch, and it is delicious. So that's what's living rent free in my mind right now, just because it was recent. But I would say I travel a lot, and my favorite thing to do when I travel is to find different spots to eat. And like, I used to live in New York City, and so obviously New York City has great food. Being from Philly, the pizza there in New York and Philly is really great. So there's also a place by me where I grew up called Tacanelli's that I just went to because every time I go home to my parents, I'm like, I need Tacanelli's. So we get Tacanelli's, and it's so good. So I would say that Tacanelli's pizza and the chicken cheesesteak wrap with fried onions.
Okay, so good. I am salivating. It's 9:59 in the morning, but I'm like, I need a cheesesteak immediately.
So good.
So good. Sounds so good. Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for meeting with us today. It was so fun to get to know you better.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
And make sure you get some good rest, maybe a night in your bed, hopefully in the next coming weeks.
I know. I'm going back tonight, and then we're leaving for LA on Saturday or Friday. Sorry, next week we're going to LA, and then we're going to Japan from there. So, speaking of being a foodie, I cannot wait for the food in Japan. I've never been, but I heard the food is so good. I love sushi, so
It's amazing.
I'll
Your
get
life will change.
yes. Yeah. Have you been?
Yes, I've been twice. It's like a spiritual experience to eat the food
Yeah.
in Japan.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and I'm gonna stay a few extra days to go to Kyoto and experience that. So, yeah,
So
I'm
great. I'm
very,
so
very
excited for you. Oh,
yeah,
okay. Well, what a dream. Lacrosse and food and board games. That is how I
yeah,
will remember you.
yep, yep.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Marie.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.